Antonín Dvořák is probably the audience favorite of all time for symphonic music. His music is just full of such folksy melodies, such good humor, such drama. His Violin Concerto comes from the juicy middle part of his career. He was writing his Fifth and Sixth Symphonies. He'd just written his Piano Concerto. And this is just when he got the big break of his life. Johannes Brahms, who was the great arbiter of taste in European music, had just heard Dvořák's music and wanted to give him every opportunity, because in Dvořák's music, Brahms heard the pure creative genius that was going to bring new life to European music. He introduced Dvořák to Joseph Joachim, the same violinist for whom Brahms had just written his Violin Concerto. Joachim was a great champion of new violin music and immediately asked Dvořák for a Violin Concerto. What a break. Dvořák immediately wrote the concerto over the summer of 1878. He sent it to Joachim, got some feedback, made revisions, but then oddly, Joachim never played the piece. Dvořák had to find another violinist to play it. And probably the reason is the level of innovation that Dvořák brought to the piece. Yes, it's full of all those melodies that we think of as making Dvořák so great, but it also does some really audacious things that we might not notice so much today, but someone like Joachim would have had a problem with. The most important thing probably is that the first movement, just when you think the cadenza is about to start, just when the music comes to a stop and you would expect the violinist to have his big virtuoso display, the movement ends. We go into a quiet transition into the second movement. The second movement couldn't be more different from the first. The first movement is Brahmsian. You know, it's really something that probably Dvořák composed thinking of the man who was giving him this opportunity. It's dramatic. It breaks melody down into its components and creates drama. It creates all its material, all the contrasting sounds out of one simple melody at the beginning. The second movement is the opposite. One big, long, flowing melody, lots of ideas in that melody, and then counter melodies. There's one section that sounds like a folk song that just blossoms gloriously. And then the third movement is full of folk dances. Dvořák, of course, is known for his Czech nationalism. All of these tunes are original, though. He just had this amazing gift for coming up with new melodies that sound like authentic folk dances and songs. This last movement is like scenes of village life. There's drama, there's humor. It's like a Currier and Ives from Bohemia of the late 19th century. So this Violin Concerto of Dvořák, all in all, was an innovative piece, and we can lose sight of the fact that Dvořák was such an innovator in form because his melodies just seem to flow so easily. But today, it's one of the great 19th century concertos.